Imagine trying to pass to your receiver when this is all you see. Good luck. This is the game of the fog ball, where players quite literally disappeared.
Tell you what's coming over Soldier Field. It is a fog. A heavy fog now is setting in over Soldier Field.
Bad weather, from ice, snow, below freezing temperatures, have been a feature of football since inception. But there seems to be nothing that matches the weird weather at the Fog Bowl. This is the playoff game between the Eagles and the Bears on December 31st, 1988. Head coach Mike Ditka for the Bears and Buddy Ryan for the Eagles used to work together. Buddy Ryan used to be the defensive coordinator for the Bears and was there in 1985 when they won the Super Bowl. But the two had serious beef, and this game was supposed to be a matchup between these two coaches. Unfortunately, or fortunately for them, the weather would become the star of the show. The game got off to a fairly normal start. The temperatures were in the 40s with the sun shining. But late in the second quarter, a fog would descend onto Soldier Field. Some thought there was a fire. The fog was said to be so thick that it was like having clouds on the ground. It will be remembered as the best game you never saw. Players couldn't see their coaches, the fans, or even each other, and you couldn't see much past 10 to 15 yards. It was definitely eerie. The fog itself covered a very small part of Chicago, less than 15 city blocks, for a very short amount of time, say about 3 hours. It just happened to engulf Soldier Field during game time. CBS actually had to ground the helicopter it used for overhead shots. It got real. Many fans left their seats to watch the games on the TVs in the stadium. Others went home to watch. And the fans that did stay didn't know what they were witnessing. It would sound like a guy was going for 1,000 yards and he was making 2. If the conditions got this bad, why didn't the game stop? The NFL did consider halting the game, but it was left up to the referee, Jim Tooney, and an NFL exec. The ref said that he could see both goalposts from midfield and we felt playing conditions were satisfactory. They were really tough in the middle of the third quarter. No word came to me that either coach wanted to stop play. So the game went on. Logistically, it would have not made sense to cancel either. This was a doubleheader on Saturday, and the next day, Jan 1st, was another doubleheader of the NFL. So if you stopped the game at the second quarter, when would you play it? Tuesday? That's probably the real reason they didn't want to cancel the game, because according to many players, the refs couldn't have seen much. For example, Eagles linebacker Seth Joyner said, "That is a straight up lie. I don't think the league, the referees, or anyone else wanted to delay the game." It wasn't all bad though. Mike Singletary, former Bears linebacker, said, "It was the best game that a player could ever play, because you could do horribly and tell the coach you were doing great and come off the sideline and he would never know. And of course, you didn't have the film to show it." With those conditions in mind, let's see how the game actually unfolded. How did the players perform? The game started with a 64-yard touchdown pass to Dennis McKinnon, giving the Bears a 7-0 lead. The Eagles responded with a drive, but it stalled at the 26-yard line. They attempted the field goal, but missed it. The Eagles got the ball back quickly though. Linebacker Seth Joyner intercepted the ball, and the Eagles would actually get into the end zone twice on this drive, but both times it was nullified because of a penalty, so they had to settle for a field goal. The Bears then drove down to the Eagles side of the field, and then they'd also miss a field goal at 51 yards. The Eagles now had the ball at midfield. The Eagles faced a 3rd and 32 on this drive, and Cunningham managed to complete a 31-yard pass to Ron Johnson, so that brought up 4th and 1 on the Bears' 4-yard line. However, a QB sneak ended up coming short, and the Eagles weren't able to score any points. However, a forced fumble got the Eagles the ball back, and they got a field goal, so the score was now 7-6. A 4-yard run by Bears running back Neil Anderson gave the Bears a 14-6 lead, and then that was shortly followed by a field goal, taking the lead to 17-6. And then with just 2 minutes and 3 seconds in the second quarter, the fog made its way in, and chaos ensued. The Eagles would manage to get a field goal before halftime, making it 17-9, but due to the fog, both teams would begin to lean more on the running game because it was hard to see receivers. Despite that, Randall Cunningham was able to rack up 407 passing yards during the game, and a lot of those yards came once the fog was there. The Bears quarterback, Mike Tomczak, was knocked out of the game in the third quarter. The fog would obviously create a difficult time for both teams, and neither would be able to get into the end zone once the fog was there. They would get a field goal each during the second half, and one of the most bizarre games in history would end with a Bears victory at 20-12. Alright, thanks for watching.